you believe in accountable love? Well, hello. Welcome to Accountable Love, home of the LoveSnobs, where love is a group journey. My name is Aziz.
I'm Jerri.
And today we'll be talking about the story of us. We are all searching for stability. We are all looking for absolutes in humanity, but there are no absolutes. There's only accountable love, a love that says when you pick a partner and friend, they will show up with their daily best and you will give them your all as well. We all deserve love at its highest form, so the LoveSnobs are here to tell you, you deserve everything. You deserve a high-class love. Now, people, on Instagram, Facebook, in person, always question, are we a couple?
Or did we date before?
Did we, are we dating now?
Are we having sex?
Are we truly friends? Is it platonic?
Does he want something from me?
Do I want something from her? Does she want something from me? Mm-hmm. They ask a lot of questions regarding our relationship. And, we are platonic. But where we started was, we met in high school. Mm-hmm. Well, I wasn't in high school. My brother went to high school and introduced me to a friend of hers that he thought I would be compatible with. And
yeah, he was trying to hook them up, and we all hung out, and they didn't hit it off too well, but we didn't hit it off too well. I mean, not at all. But in the process, I got to know him. So we all hung out together as a group, and so it was a whole bunch of us. So the group of friends will all hang out, and then there was the younger brother who had his own group of friends. So whenever
I was the younger brother, by the way. So they all hung out in high school, and I was the younger brother.
So there was sometimes we would go to his brother's house, and he would be there with his friends, and then I would kind of branch off and start talking to him, and that's kind of how the friendship kind of started.
Well, she had a boyfriend at the time, a boyfriend that I knew.
I was like, I did?
Yeah, a boyfriend that I knew. So, I didn't even see her in that way. I thought she was attractive, but she was slim, and I loved, chunky women.
Yeah, I was a size
or chunky girls, excuse me. So, I was chubby chasing. I was after her chubby friend, even though I didn't know who she was. At the time when I seen her, I thought, all right, she's chubby, she's my speed, just like my brother said. So I tried to, talk to her. But
she wouldn't talk to him. So we were all together, and she was just being really silly.
She wanted the older brother.
Yeah, she wanted the older brother. She was being real
silly.
Tried
to pawn her off to me.
And she just wouldn't, he came to the school for her and nothing. So I kind of felt bad.
Oh, see, now it's the charity case. You see that?
I felt bad.
I was good looking and popular.
In his mind, in his high school, he was the
Not
joint.
in my mind. I didn't say even in my high school. I'm just saying growing up.
Whatever. In that situation, she was too cool for him. So he was kind of lingering in the back, listening to music. Did you you had big headphones at that time too, right?
Definitely.
And I felt bad that my friend was not really, talking to him and trying to get to know him, even though he came to the school to meet her.
Yeah, so I was a charity case.
Yeah, that's how it actually started out. So that's the reality.
But the point is, you was talking to me, and we would talk, and we would always have these real intense, nice discussions, and we would kind of drift off from the rest of the group and hang out, But I obviously didn't see it in that way, so I'd be talking about her friend, or talking about random topics, or talking about things that we have in common, or interests and things of that nature. And we kind of went through what I would say 4 months of that.
No, it happened. So it happened. So not even 4 months.
No, I'm not saying 4 months repeatedly, but throughout the time you was around, when they used to come to my house, we used to, whether it was raining or snowing, our house was the hangout. So he used to come to our house. Then she would talk to me anytime they came to our house. Or I had a basketball game one time. Her and her older friend came to pick me up, which the older friend I knew from after school program. We was younger, but they came to pick me up for my basketball game, and we always was just talking anytime we was in contact with each other. But we all lost contact because My older brother, I guess, stopped hanging out with the same group, so we all lost contact. But she lived in the vicinity. She lived in our neighborhood somewhere around.
Yeah, we all grew up in East Harlem, so I would always run into him.
Definitely.
And we were the same age, so we would run into each other and we weren't the best students, so we would run into each other at night school, summer school.
I mean, before that, we run into each other
around the neighborhood.
Yeah. And every time we ran into each other,
there was always a connection.
My friends would be over there, her friends would be over there, and we would just sit there and talk, and they were like, come on, let's go, rushing us, so on and so forth. So, that's how that all started. And, we just had a connection. But at the time, we didn't think of it as anything.
And it was still a platonic connection.
Romantically,
mm-hmm.
We didn't think, I didn't have butterflies or anything when I seen it. It just came real natural.
Until the time we saw each other in summer school and he was trying to bag me.
Well, at that point, she done gained a little weight. Well, I noticed now that she had on some tights, but she looked like she gained a little weight. She was kind of closer to what I liked. And, I always thought she was attractive. So, those are the things that now I'm older and I'm looking at things differently. But I was dating somebody. I was with a woman. And when we say woman, it was
no. Let's go. You're
me.
Skipping a part. So one day I saw him on the train, and he asked me for a piece of gum.
Okay, I went to night school with her friend.
Yeah.
And she went to a whole different night school. So we all took the train together because her night school was on the way to our night school. So we all took the train. When she got off, I asked for a piece of gum. When she got off the train, I was like, Dad, Jerry just gave me this gum,
and he kept it.
Yeah, I saved it.
Forever.
I had a keepsake. I had a keepsake box. I saved all kinds of things in the keepsake box. I guess I was my mother's daughter, but I had
Your mother's daughter?
I'm just saying, like I did a lot of things in that nature.
I'm like, what?
I saved things. I had teddy bears. I had all these things, and at the same time, I guess I was her boy too, because I was one of the more physical boys too. So I'm just saying, like, so she just wanted to add that because she wanted to show how much I was stressing her.
Yeah.
But it's from afar, and then time passed. We ended up in summer school. Night school was in the winter time.
In the winter time, yeah.
Summer school. We went to summer school. Now I'm dating, an older woman, and I'm in my own planet, and I think I'm the man, and I'm not really dealing with anybody my age, and I'm going to summer school just to get out so I can, provide for my older woman.
Provide for his family.
Well, provide for my older woman, at the time, and. I thought I was just so in love, and this was it. And I signed up to be, a husband, and signed up to get myself together. And, because I was delinquent, obviously, because I was going to summer school and night school. I didn't want to go to school all the time. So what happened was I ran into Jerri there.
Yeah,
and she tried to get cute and asked me not to talk to her.
Well,
I was talking to her. We walked up the stairs together and we were talking, but she had another guy she liked in her gym class, and she asked me not to talk to her because she didn't want him to think that we was together.
I didn't say not talk to me. I said I didn't. See, the thing about Aziz, he's always been affectionate. So whenever we would see each other, we would always give each other a hug. But when we went to summer school, I did have my eye on a guy there that I had a crush on for a while. And so I asked Aziz if he could just slap me high five and not hug me.
Yeah, see, this is where it gets crazy. Because, she hugged me every other time. She hugged me anytime she seen me. She seemed excited. And now all of a sudden she was acting fly. So, I just was telling her, like, okay, go in the gym class.
Then you stopped speaking to me, right?
Wait up. I said, go in the gym class with your loose spandex. She had some loose spandex at the time. Like, she thought she was handling her business. But, it could have been a little tighter. They were supposed to be spandex. But, I guess we always wearing baggy things at the time. So she thought spandex counted. So
they were my gym shorts.
Well, they were supposed to be spandex. They were supposed to be spandex gym shorts, and they weren't. They was baggy. So I asked you to keep it moving and go in there with the baggy, and I just stopped talking to her altogether.
But let's even take a moment. Like, who takes gym in summer school? Like,
well, you did, obviously.
That's like the dumbest thing. Like, who doesn't pass gym? Like, that's just whatever.
It's crazy, anyway. But I'm just saying, you went in there, you went into the gym, and that's the last time I talked to you for maybe half of summer school. And then one of your other friends was in summer school. No, one of your other friends was in summer school. So we all went on the train together. And I caught myself not still talking to you, but I was talking to the friend. And, that's the time when we was playing on the train.
No,
that's definitely the time. That's the time we was playing on the train. Yeah, we was playing on the train. She was hitting whatever, and then she threw up.
Yeah, but that was the first day.
And continue playing with us like nothing happened. We all looking at her like, yo, you just threw up.
That's not really relevant to the story right now, so we can keep it moving.
I know, but I'm just saying that it just jogged my memory. Yeah. But what I'm saying, that was disgusting. But what I'm saying is, so, then we, obviously we was playing and, everybody's play fighting and running through the train, and we got off the train and we still play fighting. And so all of that, I guess we spoke again, but we lost touch yet again. And
so baggy spandex and all, he was still feeling me, by the way.
No, I don't know about feeling her. Because like I said, I was already into somebody.
Okay.
I did used to tell that somebody that if I had to deal with an ideal person, it would have been Jerry. But I don't know about feeling, meaning I was focused on where I was. I didn't know yet that, things would happen. So, excuse me. So one time I go to a basketball game in high school, and everybody's there, and her and a friend is there, and,
So we're speaking again, by the way.
Yeah, but this is, maybe 2-3 years later, too.
No, it was like
maybe a year later. Okay.
A year later.
So we ran into each other again, and I'm like, I just basically got kicked out of my second school and had to go to alternative school, and basically,
I happened to be in the same situation.
And I asked her, I asked her what's going on. She just got kicked out of school for fighting. Yeah, this, young lady, this
then that
younger, older woman.
This doesn't add to the story right now, but continue.
Regardless, whether it adds to the story or not.
The point was, I needed a high school. And so he was telling me that I should go to the high school that he goes to. And I was like, oh, how? No. I don't want to go to that high school. I'm just not doing it. But the reality was I needed a school. So when I went down to the Board of Education, they basically told me that because of my age and because of my truancy record, that they were going to have a hard time placing me in school. So get my GED. And I really don't want to get my GED. So I was desperate. And I was like, well, just put me anywhere. I just want to finish school. I want to finish high school. So when I got home, I had a message. They left a message on the answer machine. And basically, the school that they picked for me was the school that Aziz was actually currently attending.
This is what I'm saying.
But I didn't tell him. So I didn't call him to tell him. So basically, I started school mid-year. So I started school like that January, February, Definitely. The second semester. So
I'm coming out of chemistry, and I'm up on the 3rd floor. And I come down, and by the time I'm on my way down the hall, they talking about, oh, there's some new girl. She look good. You got to meet her. Some new girl. She look good. And I'm like, yo, who this new girl? She's like, I'm telling you, she look. And obviously all my friends thought I was really picky because who, like, they like, who's a committed person at like 18 years old? Like
to
committed.
Somebody who was like 50.
Wake up, regardless. Wake up, make sure you go to school, and then come straight back home to who you committed to. So they're looking at me like, come on, you got to think this person's good. This got to be the one to sway you because, we trying to hang out and you always being an old man. So I'm like, all right, who's this person?
So I'm coming. So your class was downstairs.
No, my class was up the stairs.
And I was coming up the stairs, the same staircase. And midway, like we met like each other like in the middle. And I looked up at him and he looked down at me. He was like, you're the new girl?
Yeah, and we knew that was the new girl, and I was like, yeah. I mean, I knew who they was talking about now, because she was good looking. So I kind of figured they was talking about her, but obviously to me, it's somebody I knew already. So it's downplayed a little bit. So they was like, yo, you know her? Because I'm sitting there talking, and they're like, oh, sure, you know her? What up? So I'm trying to hook up with my friends, because I'm in a committed relationship. I'm not worried about it. Who now starts wanting to take me? Because she worked at the time.
I've always worked. I've been working.
So
since
she was
14.
a worker. I was home with my mama. You know what I mean?
He had the good life.
So I didn't have a job. So she used to always, let's go to KFC, treating me to lunch all the time. So I'm like, wait up. So I go home.
Back when I used to eat chicken.
Long story short, me and the older woman
broke up. Shocker.
Yeah, we broke up because, she had other obligations and it was over for me.
And Cradle Robin wasn't one of them.
Okay, let's not go crazy. That has no relevance to the story. So, we basically, I told her what happened, and obviously she treated me to KFC that day, and then we left. Then we leave. It was KFC. Then we leave like maybe we might have left a period before school.
No, we were no longer cutting class at that time.
I think we left like a period.
I don't really believe him. You may have left and I met you after.
Because we went to my friend's house. So we wound up going to my friend's house, and she's like, oh, she tried to hit me with like a line. Like, what was the line? Like, I got gum in my mouth. I got candy in my mouth.
Cut
like,
it out.
You hit me with one of them lame ass lines. And
that did not happen.
Yeah, you hit me with something lame, and then basically alerting, let me know you wanted to kiss, and that's what happened. We kissed, and things started from there.
I don't quite remember how it went down, but I don't remember using a lame ass line about, do you want the gum in my mouth? Like, really?
I mean, I don't know. It was lame. So right there, I mean, you was real Spanish back then. So listen, I mean, come on. I mean, you dressed nice. You had the hood flavor. You like you look like one of us, but I don't know. You know what I mean? I was unsure. So long story short, we dated for...
How long did we last?
2.5 years.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
We dated for 2.5 years, but at that age, it seems like 12 years. So we dated, we went through...
It was intense.
Yeah, we went through trials and tribulations like anybody else, like, I mean...
But the one thing that we said that we will always do is be friends. Now, I wasn't always the best at it because, of course, he moved on first.
Yeah.
So he moved on and, he went away to college.
Well, we didn't break up because I went away to college. We broke up because she wanted, at the time, everybody was like, my nickname was Face. So everybody was like, Face. And that's Face's girl. So she wanted her own understanding, her own mind, her own identity. When they used to say that's Jerry's man, I didn't care. So, over time that took its toll because she wanted to explore a little more. I was already very serious and a very serious person and wanted to be in a serious relationship and wanted to be a husband, and that was a dream of mine. So I felt like I found the person I wanted to be with, but she wanted to explore more, and she was in love with me in her mind, but the point is you could tell she wanted something different because she was offended by being called my girlfriend, and over time it took its toll. So that's why we broke up. Nobody really understood why at that age because they're like, well, people cheat on each other, people go through all kinds of stuff, and y'all broke up for that. So I guess we was a little deeper than everybody else in their minds, but I didn't see a relationship going further if she wanted to still be her own person and she needed to explore some things because I was her first.
Well, at the time I didn't want to be known as his girlfriend in that way. So it just was something that I was searching for my identity. I kind of felt like I was like the trophy girlfriend. Like everyone's like, oh, your girlfriend's so pretty. You face girl, you're this, that, and the third. I was far from pretty.
No, you far from the trophy girl. Like you just wasn't somebody on somebody's
something that used to rub me the wrong way, and I didn't like it. It was something that I thought that I needed to. He broke up with me. I didn't break up with him. So even though I had those feelings, I still stuck it through, and he saw right through it. So he was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. Definitely.
So for a little while, we broke up. When I go to school,
and he meets a girl. He met two girls.
No, I met a girl that was like maybe a transitional girl, and then I met a girl that would become my girlfriend.
Yeah.
So, and when I say transitional, I didn't have sex with her. I didn't do anything with her. I might have kissed her.
You did?
Yeah, I kissed her, listened to a few of her stories, helped her with a few of her problems. And, obviously I've always been this problem solver, relationship guy, and I've always wanted to talk to people, and I've always been intrigued by relationships. So that's how, some of my, girlfriends or interactions started with me, helping, which I learned later would be an issue with, starting relationships. But at the end of the day, that was the person I transitioned with, and then it was a person that was actually my girlfriend at the time. And Jerry was still my best friend, so this is where all the problems started.
Yeah, because we said that we will always be friends, and it sounded good, and my heart wanted to still be your friend, but it was really difficult to watch him with someone else and to kind of see that you were still kind of going through the same things that we went through. So I'm like, why wouldn't you just stay with me? Like, it was kind of, I did get resentful at times and competitive, and, I just wanted him, or I knew that because Aziz is the type of man that he means what he says what he means. So if he said that we will always be friends, we'll always be friends, and I took advantage of that.
Definitely.
So I wasn't always I wasn't always the best friend at the time. So I had the title, but I didn't always do right by him because I made his life a little bit more hectic.
Definitely.
Because I wasn't really ready to. I was selfish. I wasn't necessarily ready to be a girlfriend, but I wasn't ready to have you single. Like I didn't want you to be with somebody either.
She wanted me basically to stay and wait for her while she go do her thing. But at the end of the day, I had a girlfriend and I stayed focused and I made sure, me and her were always in touch, and my girlfriend knew who was going to be my best friend, and whoever was going to destroy the relationship was her and I. If Jerry did something to me or did something that was crossing the line, then our relationship would, take a hit. But other than that, I'm not going to stop a relationship that I already had to prove to a woman that I'm trying to build my life with, because they're both going to be in my life. Mm-hmm. That, if I eliminate her, maybe I'm close to my girlfriend. That doesn't work that way. Mm-hmm. So I really had strong principles, and like she said, my word was my bond, and it was important for me to keep my word. So I'm gonna, I was gonna be her friend regardless. But I did call her out anytime she crossed the line and was trying to,
be extra,
do what she do, trying to, divide the relationship. I basically was telling her, listen, this friendship, it's gonna be hard if you continue to do what you're doing, So I basically we had our discussions, we had our falling outs, we had our, we didn't talk to each other for a month or two, like we had those ordeals for the course of that relationship. And then, she started messing with somebody, so it became a lot easier. Obviously,
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because the man is always wrong when he moves on first. But as soon as the woman gets, a partner, now everything is even. So, she found the partner. He was older now. Mm-hmm. So now we can start calling him grandpa. And I had and the girl I was with was,
he was only
3 years younger than me?
She was 3 years,
yeah, 3 years younger than me. So here I am, like, with somebody younger, and I act like an old man. So that, that didn't work out. So,
and my situation didn't work out either, but we still continue to be friends anyway. And
definitely.
So even throughout that, we still we didn't decide to get back together. We just still continue to be friends and try to build on our friendship.
Definitely. I mean, we're not going to sit here and say through the course of breakups, we didn't have our times where we just decided to do intimate things with each other. We wasn't having sex.
No, we weren't having sex. But
we decided to do intimate things, and that kind of got old. So,
well, he fails to tell people this story, but so
okay, go ahead.
So we had a moment, and he looked up at me and asked me if did he think we should get back together.
We hung out so much, and I was just saying,
and he just broke up with his girlfriend, and he was like, we still had love for each other. So he was saying, why don't we just, instead of starting over with other people, why don't we get back together? And I said no.
She said, she was still in the same place. She was searching. And
I said no.
I was really thinking that was just the right thing to do. I didn't know.
But he also said that once I said no, he realized that it was kind of one of those things, like he was reflecting, thinking it didn't work out with this person. We already why can't we? We
already have chemistry.
Yeah, why can't we just
we're friends? We started the right way,
mm-hmm.
But it just wasn't there anymore. So we kind of that was our closure.
Yeah, it was, because that was the last time we ever did it. Like we ever did anything
even
with each other.
Even explored that option. Mm-hmm. And we moved on.
And how long ago was that?
I know. And then we had relationships after that, obviously.
And then I became a parent.
And she became a parent, and I became the godfather of a child and helped her through that process. And obviously we raised her daughter
together
as a team. Mm-hmm. And, that's where people get a little fuzzy, because I guess they can't really see how a man could step up without trying to get in some woman's pants or trying to have an agenda. Mm-hmm. So
in everyone's mind, they think that he's this great guy who's in the wings just waiting for his opportunity. And then in your situation, they're thinking that, don't they think the same thing, you think?
I mean, they
well, not necessarily with me.
They don't think it
anymore
because of Jasmine, which is another person that's my ex, but now they're my friends. So I think that's what the issue is.
But it's his most recent relationship.
Yeah, we always, I always remain friends with the people I've, been intimate with, or the people. I think it's very important to build the friendship first. Mm-hmm. So I've always remained friends with the people that I shared the most intimate moments with. I don't understand how people can be nasty to each other and how people can.
It's like, how could you once love somebody?
Yeah, and then go into a whole nother mode. And don't say, I'm not gonna, nobody can say we don't understand it. We don't see the process. We've seen enough movies. We've seen enough real life stories to understand why it turns into something negative, because people can't handle the emotions and they don't deal with their principles.
Yeah.
I deal with the principle of maintaining our friendship first. So I make sure that I treat the person I'm with as if they're my friend. So you could cheat on your girlfriend, but you can't cheat on your friend. You know what I mean? So it doubles up. Meaning I wouldn't cheat on my girlfriend, but I definitely wouldn't cheat on my friend. So it doubles up in my mind. So when I join any relationship, I promise to, like, you know, never destroy them, never bash them, never break up on bad terms. Let's communicate well. And it's always worked out for me, because I'm not, like, quote unquote great friends with all of them, all of my exes, but, you know, I am friends with 2 of my exes that happen to be my village, that make up my village, that, you know, and everybody's, oh, y'all must be sleeping together. You know, I didn't have sex for like 8 years after my last relationship. So that, I'm not saying I didn't do other things, but I didn't have sex, like intercourse with anybody.
You sound
for
like
8
Bill
years.
Clinton.
Well, I mean,
I didn't have sexual relations with Monica Lewinsky.
I inhaled, I didn't puff. But, you know, I didn't have sex because I believe in sex. You know, to this day, I believe sex now is a way where you actually marry a person and commit to a person. So I saved that for whoever I'm with permanently. But, you know, I have done other things and tried, you know, dated and tried to, you know, have relationships with other women, but not having sex, I guess it gets old for them fast and they move on. A lot of them went back to their exes, but they move on.
Luggage. But anyway, we still maintain friends along the years. And like Aziz said, it hasn't been easy. We have had our trials and tribulations. I mean, the longest that we haven't the longest we stopped speaking to each other. Yeah. I mean, we would get into arguments, and then.
Well, we get in an argument. Last argument we got into, you know.
Are you talking about like 2 days ago?
No.
Oh.
Stop being nervous. Last argument we got into, I mean, before the time we didn't talk for 8 months, she was single and breaking up with one of her, you know, her baby father. And now she was engaged next time I spoke to her. So, I mean.
I sure was.
Yeah, she was engaged, and, you know, I was happy for her. I didn't, you know, there was no ill will. That's what it's hard for people to believe. A good-looking girl, a good-looking guy, they have to be together, but you just don't have, like, you have that family love for each other now, because, you know, you're happy for them to succeed. You're happy for them to be in relationships. You know, you still feel that you still upset if they not with a good person. You know what I mean? So you still have that, damn, I really want you to be with a good person, but it's in a friend way. It's not in a intimate sexual way. So,
but I think you hit it on the nose. It's a family. It's like a family love. Like, the bond that we have now is more like, I know I joke and say, like, you're like my brother, but that's how it feels. Like, it feels like I have so much love for you, and it's not in a romantic way. Like, I don't look at you, and even though I do think that you are attractive, I don't look at you and I'm like, oh, like, you know, checking you out in that way.
Definitely. But I mean, it's the same here. It's hard for you to see it that way. Yeah. It's like a attractive sister. You know they're attractive, but it's hard for you to see it that way, just to even picture them in a sexual way. And if you gotta, like, force yourself to picture them sexually, you probably shouldn't go there. So so that's where the bottom line is. Like, we don't go there because we don't picture them. You know, I don't picture her in a sexual way, and she doesn't picture me in a sexual way. So, you know, over time we, you know, hung out, and she, you know, would go on her, she would go like for maybe 2 weeks not talking, and back, you know, we wasn't really friends. We had to build it back up, because after the 8 months, her lifestyle changed. My lifestyle was some of the same, because, you know, I obviously at a young age, I already understood where I wanted to be, had a strong faith, and that's very important. So when you have a faith, you kind of live through that faith and see where it gets you. So, and I was
living earthly, so he was like
I wasn't like, you know, I wasn't a Buddha. No, I'm saying you acting like I was a monk.
No, that's not what I was saying. I was just saying, like, meaning that I was like.
Let's not talk in spiritual words, because that could mean anything. Accountable love, meaning we explain.
So I was more. I chose to hang out. I was hanging out a lot. Definitely. So because I wasn't with my child's father, she would be with him every other weekend. Oh, what?
No, I'm just asking.
She was with him. And she would be with her dad every other weekend. So for a single mother, I had a decent amount of free time.
Definitely.
So because of the free time, I will.
You're not a single mother.
No, on paper, but I'm just.
No, you're not a single mother on paper. You have people there supporting you. If you try to get away from that, when you have other people supporting you, how are you single?
You're right. So
let's be clear. You had a village. So
because
I
had a village,
Definitely.
I had time. So I would spend that time dating, meeting new people, hanging out with friends, and doing all that stuff. So because of that, we didn't do the same things. So we would catch up, but it wasn't as strong as it was when we were younger because we just didn't have things in common anymore. Someone that actually wants to hang out with again.
But we always been very spiritually connected from the beginning, and obviously we knew each other as children, wanted to be and who we needed to be, and obviously through that we fought and we created some distance. But at the end of the day, we kind of knew that we belonged in each other's lives. But it wasn't as a partner. It wasn't as I guess as a partner in life in some form or fashion.
But not as a significant not romantic.
We still, she's single, men. She's single, and I'm single, women. That's what she's supposed to say, but she ain't looking out. She's still trying to hold me, leave me single until she finds somebody, right? She's still doing that. But at the end of the day,
I've had like 20 boyfriends in between.
Yeah, I know.
I was like the serial dater.
Definitely. This is what I'm saying. I mean, I'm more of a serious person in that regard. So, I didn't have many, but I had some. But at the end of the day, we did find our way back to one another, and it was very important for us to have a quality people in our lives, and we was each other's quality person. And I'm not saying I just call her out. She calls me out on random things like, when we talk about being vegan, or she's like, you don't eat pork and you still eat shrimp. And then we had to look up scavengers and what they do and all this other stuff. And it's the same. Out the door. All other scavengers, I could care less. But shrimp, out the door. Like I had to, we're being held accountable on both ends. If somebody, a friend of mine's or a coworker of mine says something that, she feels I should have addressed, she's going to say, listen, you should have. And we might have a back and forth because I may not believe I should have addressed it. But she has won some of those battles, and I had to go back and address it. Why? Because we held accountable and we are role models. So, the friendship started the podcast. The friendship is what started the podcast. We had another friend of mine that, actually brought the idea, and she was managing me. But at the end of the day, she, I asked Jerri to come aboard, and we created this podcast with her, with my other friend. And then it was history ever since, because we always been conversationalists. We have a great village. We have a great group of friends, and they kind of look at a male, because I have another female friend that I obviously used to date, since I said in the beginning. But they look at us and they always wondering, are they polygamous? Are they, polyamorous? Are they, they always have a romantic understanding.
Am I dating
Are they
her?
having sex?
Dating him?
And, they kind of look as a cult because, anybody that's inspirational and anybody that wants people to think differently is always, a cult leader and trying to get something out of them.
It's just the fact that we all seemingly get along. So you could tell that we're like-minded, and no one could really wrap their head around three people, two women and a man, getting along and not have a hidden agenda. You know what
Definitely.
I mean? There's no way that they all are this content with each other and they're all not having sex.
Is it really the man? Is it really the man and two females? Because when you see a man that they like, women kind of look at as like a cupcake or a nerd or a corny dude. He can hang out with as many women as possible, and they don't think he's sleeping with all of them.
Right.
So it has to be something that unconsciously that they believe about each of us. Mm-hmm. That we have to be doing certain things, and we have to be, because I've been disciplined, and it's people we know. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's people that's on our Facebook page kind of wondering these things. You know what I mean?
But the thing is
they knew us.
The reality is, if we all wanted to sleep with each other, we could. You know what I mean?
Especially in this world now.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. The world allows it.
It wouldn't even. We're all single, so we can do what the hell we want.
No, but the crazy thing is, the world would like a more understanding with that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because it's something at least identified. This is something unknown to people because they're like, yo, they just really friends. They just really work well together. They just really look out for each other. And I mean, anybody I come in contact with, Jerri comes in contact with, we're trying to always help and enhance. And I mean, we get called a lot of on them, or we're forcing beliefs on them, or we forcing, but we just think highly of people. Like we don't let one person that we don't think highly of anymore destroy our belief that the next person we meet we think highly of. Like we listen to what you have to offer and we try to bring it out of you. You know what I mean? And she doesn't do it in a way where, it's as known, because in her mind that's not what she does, but she does do it all the time. She can't help herself. And me, I know what I'm doing and I actually own it. But at the end of the day, I think that that's my passion. That's my purpose in this world, is to build strong relationships. So,
well, I'm naturally a solution-driven person, so it's natural for me to solve a problem. When you have a problem, I'll help you through it. Although it's not because it comes so natural to me. I know you don't think it's a job, but it doesn't seem like it's that big a deal that I'm helping you solve this problem because. What else are we going to do? You know what I mean? Like, what else are we going to do? Like, let's get past this. Let's move forward.
So basically this podcast was the podcast was birthed when we was 15. And it just was something we realized at 40 that, we needed the rest of the world to see how two people could come together, actually go through a relationship, actually go through all kinds of trials and tribulations, actually, and still not. And we don't have like horrible stories like I cursed you on the street.
Yeah.
Or I was nasty to you, or I cheated on you. We just have straight, like, we had raw discussions, we had real discussions, and we came to understandings based on the information given or information provided. Because, when people say you're only human is reason and evidence. So we gave good reasons, and whether one person wanted to hear it or not, it was something that we both couldn't, run from, because every time, what was it? It was a clear understanding, and we would fight for. I mean, we sit there and go back and forth to this day, for hours. Sometimes crying, sometimes yelling. It's not like we exempt from raising our voice.
I'm the one yelling.
I mean, I yell too. We exempt from raising our voice, or we exempt from having bad habits, just because we teaching accountable love, and just because we teaching relationships and healthy relationships, equal and healthy relationships, doesn't mean that we exempt from actually falling short. We just know how to get back on track every time.
Different.
You get what I'm saying? We know how to get back. We don't just get back on track because we have years. We don't just get back on track because we believe it's the quote unquote right thing to do. We get back on track because we believe it's the spiritual thing to do. We believe that it's important. We believe we have a love for one another. So in having that love, we should treat each other with respect. So anytime we feel we cross the line, apology, I'll never do it again. We work not to do it again. It's a very simple understanding.
Yeah.
But this is how we got to this. This is how we got to this point. We got to this point of accountable love through a strong friendship that started out as a friendship, turned into a relationship, and went back into a friendship. So y'all should tune in. This is very important work. Having equal relationships, and like you said, you have to hear our story. We succeeded, we failed, we succeeded, we failed, and
now
we're
back on top again.
So this is what can happen for everybody. You don't have to end in a nasty way. You don't have to have a nasty baby mother. You don't have to have, a nasty a person you used to be with that you used to love and hold and cherish that you can't even stand to see, but you told all your secrets to. They know the most important and most intimate and vivid things about you, and you still have that person out there as your enemy. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. So I think that this should encourage more people to really look at the people that they have been in intimate relationships with, and as long as it's not toxic, like, examine it.
Well, it all starts with being like-minded. I think we were like-minded from very young.
Definitely.
I mean, again, like I had some growing up to do along the way, and Aziz has been mature for way longer than me. But I think when you are with a partner, or you find someone that you are like-minded with, when you don't work out romantically, it is easier to transition to a friendship. The thing about it, we live in a society where people think that it's wrong. But why is it wrong? If we're both honest, if we're both...
That's a good question.
If we're both honest and we're both not liars or cheaters, then what are you afraid of?
If you can start a relationship where you actually took a chance at it forever with each other on an intimate level, on a romantic level, how could you not be friends?
And if we were friends and we weren't having sex per se, if we weren't having sex as friends, I'm not going to wait to be in a relationship to have sex with him.
In the same here.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't quite make any sense.
And if we realize we belong together
then
through
that's a
other
whole
relationships, then those people are,
that's a conversation we have to have.
Who wouldn't want a real? I wouldn't want anybody with me that wants to be somewhere else. So
absolutely.
At the end of the day,
they
it
did
all
you a
starts
favor
with
anyway.
a raw discussion.
So you want people to be with who they want to be with. Like you said, you want people to be with who they want to be with. So if that is the case, you can't stop it. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing you can do. If it's gonna happen, you just have to trust that the person you with is honest and wouldn't rob you of your choices.
Definitely. So this is the opening to season 2, creating Love Snobs, and we hoping to make Love Snobs out of everybody. We're gonna have a bunch of guests, and this season we're definitely gonna invite a lot of people to come have discussions and talk about relationships and talk about their past. And some people will get very emotional. Some people might yell and scream and curse us out. We don't know. But you can trust and you can rely on us to actually ask the tough questions and actually really dive into strengthening somebody's heart so they can strengthen other people's hearts and they can better connect with their friends, because we are promoting equal relationships. Love snobs.
Exactly.
Love is the highest snobs. Highest. It's a high society. If you say I love you, you are bringing somebody to high society. That's why we are Love Snobs.
And love is a group journey, so you don't do this alone.
Definitely. So this is the end of the first podcast of season 2 of Accountable Love. All right. My name's Aziz.
I'm Jerri.
All right. Good night.
Good night.